Hi, everybody. Thanks for checking out this episode of the podcast. I'd just like to send out my apologies in advance to you and also my guest because I kind of screwed up the audio on this episode. I had a big guest coming in. I was really excited, a little bit too excited, and I kind of mismatched some of the microphone signals and that kind of jazz. And in the end, I had to use the audio captured on my phone, which is also the video capture device. So I hope you don't mind. It still sounds fine. It still sounds loud and clear. But it's just something I want to point out, right? And with that, I give you my guest, the podcast episode of me speaking to Sharizan Borhan. Hello. This is the Stephen Bones Everything Podcast. And today...
Sorry, I'm just recording you while we're doing this.
We're recording the podcast. Well, my friend here is recording the podcast as well.
I'm recording the podcaster.
Recording the podcaster. The podcast of the podcaster, podcasting. So today I have here my good friend, one of those people that I really look up to and respect like crazy in life.
Rubbish.
Mr. Sharizan Borhan, the one and only.
Hi everybody. Wait. Stephen Bones, everybody.
Hey.
The one and only.
Okay, so first, we're recording this on the days where like the government has decided to, limit movement, restrict movement of the people.
And we're still out.
You're still out.
Horrible, right, you?
No, I mean it's not like we're doing this like in a public setting, in a public.
I was thinking whether I should wear a mask coming to your place now.
I think even without the virus going around, you probably should.
Yeah, I have it, but thing is, it's out of stock.
Yeah, this room can get quite disgusting lah.
But it's okay. There is a sense of we have a diffuser, we've got essential oils. It smells very hyang.
Yeah, there's a Thai masseuse waiting outside the door.
Cheers! Thank you for the wonderful
Cheers.
tea. Yeah, if you all don't know, Stephen has got a wide array of collection of teas as well.
Yes.
And I'm very honoured to be able to sample the tea, which costs thousands and thousands of ringgit. It's called the Forced Savings Investment Plan.
Yeah, it will be on sale on your way out.
Oh yes.
There'll be a counter, there'll be a merchandise counter. Yeah.
But of course, being a VO talent, we'll get about 60% discount. So we're just paying costs, what he bought about 20 years ago.
Yeah. And this, kids, is how you lose money to friends.
No problem. Friend ma.
Yeah. But seriously, man, thank you so much for coming out to do this.
No problem. We will always remember 18th of March 2020.
Exactly.
Yeah, very on by number.
Exactly. Right. So many, such a dramatic period of time, right? This past 1 month or so.
I think it's interesting because we talk about downturns. I think I survived two back in 2000. Starting off the career with a kid in tow, and then you went for holiday in December, nice London holiday, coming back, 2000 recession, 6 months no job.
Oh man.
So I think
this was before your big music career, or?
It was after 96 I started, and then 2000 was when was just building up everything, emceeing, voiceovers and everything, but haven't really penetrated the voiceover industry yet. But to get a job, 6 months was really hard. But thank God, savings is very important. So I think for people, having that buffer is so important for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And then 2010, another recession came, and economy took a beating. And then 2011, I went to Australia, and that was a hard time. So
I thought you went there to beat Australians.
No, I didn't. Australians beat me.
Australians beat you.
Yeah, so it was also a recession as well. And now, exactly 10 years. And when I looked at the Aussie dollar, right, when I left in 2010 or started sending money to Australia, it was 2.71 or 2.74. Yesterday, it was 2.68, 2.64 Aussie dollar to the ringgit. So it's that 10-year thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but from a layman's point of view, I'm not an analysis. I'm just an SPM failure, right?
Yeah, no. So kids, if you are 10 years old, between the ages of 8 to 15, yeah, remember 10 years from now.
Yeah,
get your money ready.
get your money ready. Yeah.
All the money collected in Chinese New Year, ang pao lah, duit raya, you simpan dulu.
Simpan dulu, don't spend.
Don't spend. Wait 10 years, come, let it out and you will be rich.
Oh no, not really. Now is the time to save. Maybe in 5 years you spend, but in that 5 years after that, you start to save again.
Start to save again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So wait for your pao. Save some money for your Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I don't know, man. Kids, 5 years more. Pokemon, it's old school stuff.
Yeah. But I think we all go through the stage, right? I mean, when I was young, I want to spend money. Oh, I can't wait lah. I want to save until I'm 30 and then start spending. It's ridiculous. But actually, you look at the logic, it makes a lot of sense. Delayed gratification.
Yeah, exactly. And man, you really ran the gamut of life, I feel.
Really? Why?
You had like a pretty big music career.
Pretty big, I didn't know.
I mean, it's not Siti Nurhaliza big,
Yeah.
but it's, for the compared to the average person, an average musician and singer, I think you did pretty well.
Don't know, I never thought of it like way.
Yeah. I think when you're in the midst of it, you don't really like dwell on it much, right? Because there's always something ahead, and you keep going.
Being a male artist, I think it's harder.
Yeah.
Because we've always got to work way harder. Because one is, we're not as curvy as a lady.
True.
So being a singer at the time, you really had to compete. But I had this mindset that I had to work 3 times harder regardless. So I had to open myself to the many fields. But I got many people to thank along the way. They gave me opportunities. One was Astro, this guy named Arif Iman. Until today, I still thank him for giving me the opportunities to go into animation recording for voiceovers.
Oh, dang.
So that was a little break that he gave me. He called me, hey bro, we're doing animations for cartoons. Would you like to learn and be on board? I said, yeah, I'm willing to learn anything.
Yeah.
So that's why we started. That's why I got to know Colin and Sam and everything in the industry, in Astro itself. By that time, Astro was paying really good money.
How did you... Okay, because if people don't know, like Sharizan, besides having a great singing voice and a great regular voice, voice for speech, you are one of those guys that does a ton of character work, and you're very widely known for your voice being extremely flexible and versatile when it comes to character work. Did that come before singing, or was it after you went into animation, then you were like, okay, I can do this, or did you kind of like figure that out, that you could do these kind of voices from beforehand?
Voices, again, it was very subconscious. I watched a lot of cartoons when I was young.
Yeah.
I was never the studious kind.
Yeah.
A bit dyslexic actually. I think I just discovered. And then singing was by chance. Didn't know what to do with my life. SPM failure. Mom sent me for singing classes. So I'm actually tourism trained. I went for
tourism trained.
Yeah, I went for tourism courses as a professional part of it.
I thought you meant like tour. Like I was like, what is this tourism trained singer like?
My background is tourism. Yeah. So actually, it's also service industry.
Yeah, exactly.
But then mom sent me for that, and I went for Asia Bagos. Asia Bagos competition was the second batch, and then came out. We tried to look for recording deals. Yeah, but I didn't know the voiceover industry that well. But I was exposed to it a little bit during Tenaga Himpun time. You remember Oshin? Oshin, the Japanese drama series that was very popular in TV3. Yeah. Oshin, kau buat apa tu Oshin? Ayah, tolong tunggu. Oshin, bapak tunggu ni. Yeah. So those days they were recording in a big studio. Everybody had a booth. We had a big TV screen, and when the red light comes on, is when you're supposed to read your script.
Yeah.
So I was exposed to that, and I found it really interesting. But nothing happened until Astro gave me the opportunity. At the same time, ImagineX those days, Jennifer and everything else. I went for auditions then.
Yeah.
So the first job was Carlsberg.
Carlsberg.
I had to sing, right? Yeah. And I'm still very thankful to Jennifer today for actually slowly spreading the name around to the studios at that time. So again, it's people that I'm thankful for, people who believe and trusted. It's all about that. But the willingness to actually explore and to push harder, I think that's the only way. And that's where I met you.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though. You were actually right before I got into voiceovers, because I believe the first time we met was when I was working at BFM.
Really?
Yeah, that was before you went to Australia. I remember very clearly.
But I met you once also in Incognito.
This was before. Way before. So like this, when I was in BFM working there, because I was the audio engineer. So we did this whole thing where all these talents would come through and do their air checks.
Okay.
Audition for the station, all that kind of stuff. So I got to meet quite a number of people there, and
all
then
the sifus.
All the sifus, some not so sifu also.
Oh really? I don't know. I don't judge.
All good people.
Naughty fella.
But when you came in, and I've known this over the years, especially whenever you step into the room, you have this uncanny ability to just turn the room around with your pure energy and charisma. Whether you know it or not, you do.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do, and I was quite taken aback by that. And then I remember recording you, and then like the voices you would do, crazy voices and all that kind of stuff, right? And I was like,
See, I cannot cari makan really. see, who has taken over?
Okay, but after I saw, it was really after you. That was the point. I was like, hey, you know what? I do these voices at home. You know, this guy is like, you know, from that initial meeting, like you were already like the benchmark.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is a shining example of what I might be able to do. You know, so whether you were aware or not, like you were actually a very big impact on me from the get go.
Thank you.
You can apologize later.
Okay, I'll cry.
But yeah, so after I left BFM, and it was because I wanted to pursue voiceovers. Because growing up, it was two things for me: either be a rock star, so singing also, or cartoons. So kind of like you, I wasn't like a formally. I did like classical singing and all that when I was in like high school.
Sure.
Have
you heard?
But yeah, I did like classical and then like all these Chinese classical opera songs in Chinese school.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and I never pursued it much because I didn't want to take the exams. I got into rock band, then I got into rock music, started singing a lot of rock, did some pop before that also. And same thing with you, I failed my SPM. I did the UEC thing which got me into like music college.
Okay.
But I failed my SPM, so that cert does not exist. Yeah.
It does actually.
It does, but it's not
It's
in my
just to
hands.
show you that how far you've come.
Yeah, and then then going to work at BFM, seeing you, and then after that, you know, starting to formulate a plan to get out of that and go into voiceovers. And I remember it wasn't long after I got in that you left the country.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but you kind of left a void that
I managed to fill up.
that ngam like, you know.
I think yourself and Josh filled that gap.
Yeah, because I was the new kid on the block that suddenly and I tried to sell myself as the guy that could do like all kinds of character voices. And also the guy that was extremely available because I didn't make a slow transition. I straight up quit my job and said, look, if I cannot hit like this amount of jobs within a month, after a year, if things don't work out, I just go back and work full time. And luckily enough, it's been like 10 years lah.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting because I got into the voiceovers and I managed to get my footing. You know, and still, even then, I was like, wow, I was like, Sharizan born in like Australia, like, and I'm like, wow, I must be living the dream lah. I also want to go overseas and do VO lah.
No.
And then you came back, and then you went through a hard time.
Yeah.
While you were there, and you went through a lot, and every step of the way, you know, again, whether you noticed or did not notice, you had a very profound impact on me.
Wow.
Yeah, because like just watching you go through the ups and downs, like with some things that I would have, you know, like, oh, I would have enjoyed this aspect if it happened to me, or maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed it or whatever. But it's like seeing you go through it, and like, man, if there are like lessons here along that I need to pick up, you know, because otherwise this guy has gone through all this. I know it's hard for you, but it's like okay, I need to learn to be grateful for what I have and
definitely
appreciate what you went through, and also appreciate your spirit lah. Yeah, because you went through a lot. Like, okay, you were saying like, okay, before you went to Australia, you were doing very well here, like financially and business wise. You were doing everything, right?
Yeah, I was also distributing karaoke mics with the distributors for a Korean product, and it did really well. But eventually, we had to wind down the business because globally it was slowing down.
Yeah.
Basically identifying when to call it quits and when to slow it down was also a factor. I had a good business partner, my then wife, not ex-wife, but we're still very good friends.
Yeah.
It was just a learning curve along the way. We started businesses together at a very, very young age. Right in the early 20s, we started off doing costumes, costume rentals, and then we got into secondhand baby goods because we had kids, and then we were sourcing out for products, and we saw a opportunity, nobody's doing it yet.
Yeah.
So the business ran very well, but eventually we couldn't get the kind of quality products that we wanted, and everybody was just trying to dump off their made in China goods, which was of very bad quality. And we had to tone it down. There's always a cycle in business. 2 or 3 years you have to revamp and you have to see how it goes. And then we got into batik art, and then we got into this Vietnamese balancing dragonflies. Was just to try out.
That was you.
Yeah. We brought in balancing dragonflies. Yeah.
Oh, man. I remember that.
Yeah. But also to understand how importing was.
Yeah.
Because first batch, very good. Second batch, when you order big, they will give you all kinds. Oh, bamboo not dry, the tails are curved. I say no, but we want this original. Oh, you just have to absorb stocks.
And it's really frustrating because okay, if they weren't able to deliver from day one, fine. But they clearly delivered the first round, right?
First round was perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. But we looked at it, and then we just had to revamp the marketing aspect of it, understand how we can actually turn it around. But it was just an experience that we needed to go through, and then Magic Sing came about. And then I got Sam to sing for our jingle. I actually produced a jingle.
The Magic Sing is this the karaoke mic with like
all in one with 2,000
with the songs and all that inside, right?
Yeah. I still got a couple of units where we're just keeping it for keepsakes.
Yeah. I can remember, man.
Yeah, but now everybody's gone on apps. Even Magic Sing has gone on apps.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's doing it. The power of smartphones these days, you don't need a physical device.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Like this podcast itself is being recorded on a smartphone because the podcaster does not have money to buy like proper cameras and equipment.
What for using Huawei?
I want to say Huawei, but I'm hoping Huawei gives me money to say Huawei.
Oh.
No, I don't. I'm using a Huawei P30, so it's not even like a top of the range kind of thing.
No.
But it's good enough.
I'm using a Mate 20X.
Ah.
Yeah. But you know how I would market Huawei, right?
Yeah.
Because the camera is just so amazing.
Yeah.
People say, wow, what phone are you using? Samsung? I say, no. Huawei! See, yeah, it's Huawei! Yeah. So a bit of marketing, Huawei, if you see us, we don't mind getting new phones. Because I also bought a M5 Pro.
Yeah.
Okay, I also bought another Nova 7.
I got a laptop.
Yeah, everything's Huawei, you see. We believe in that,
Yeah.
It's good products.
If you would like to buy this advertising space, whether you're from Huawei or from Samsung, at some point
Samsung will take a very big offense if you market Samsung and Huawei together.
As long as the money is not offensive.
Yes.
Basically, I can give you like
very special content.
yes, and we can have like advertising at the bottom here, or if like based on the amount given, we can like advertise. We can cover ourselves. We can cover our faces.
And Bones will call you Oppa. 안녕하세요, 오빠. 사랑해요. Oh my gosh, we did the ad. This saranghae chicken, whatever. My gosh, a friend of mine, bro. I heard it online. I can't get it out of my head right now.
And man, like I have to say, when you first came back into the voiceover scene,
that was 2014.
2014, right? And like seeing you like come back and literally having to start from zero because you were gone for a while.
3.5 years away.
And this is an industry where like
it's very unforgiving.
It's very unforgiving. One, you're gone.
Yeah.
Right? If you start getting unavailable, it gets very hard to survive.
Yeah.
You came back, and there was no ego, right? And right, you took it upon yourself, and you told yourself, "Look, I'm coming back. I'm starting fresh," and I mean, granted lah, you were one of the top tier talents before you left, and then when you came back, like okay, now you have to re-establish yourself, right?
I was right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Again, a couple of studio friends. I think this time Joanne from
Chanang,
yeah, she still remembered what I was able to deliver. But the problem was coming back 2014. She said this. This clients we asked them, try Sharizan. You know what they say? Sharizan, who's Sharizan?
Sharizan, yeah.
Right? That's how quick the turnover is in the industry itself.
Yeah.
When you got even for 1 year, even for 12 months, people can forget who you really are.
Yeah.
I think it's because of that time when I left, there were new ones coming in, and then probably you and Josh and everybody was still in the industry, and you filled that void.
Yeah.
And for me, the comeback was like really hard, but I had to do what I had to do to start from zero. I was willing to. I had mouths to feed. 2014, I didn't tell a lot of people, but I think I just recently shared that, coming back from Australia after failing miserably well in business and everything, right? We didn't make whatever visas that we needed to.
Expensive lesson.
I shut down the business. This was my university degree, but one that was very, very costly.
Yeah.
We lost almost everything and had to rebuild. So coming back 2014 was starting from zero, literally zero.
Yeah.
It was hard. There were days where you just wanted to cry because it was a journey where you really had to fight, and you thought that you fought enough in Australia, and then coming back here, re-establishing again was hard. It was really, really hard.
Yeah, because the mentality would have, the average thinker would be like, you know what, I'll just go home because home was treating me so well the whole time before I left. So when I go back, everything's gonna be just go back to normal right away. When I go back, and my problems are gonna disappear, and that's usually not the case.
It's not the case. Well, the problem was I cut my bridges very early on, and I don't know, was I burnt out at the time or what? I don't know. But in order to establish something overseas, something different, I got into the food business and everything. So wrong advice and everything. So of course the Malaysian pride went there.
Yeah.
And then I left the Malaysian pride, then came back with zero. No, because people think Malaysia, we're very good lah, everything can happen. Don't worry, we can do it. My God, what the hell was going on?
Malaysia boleh.
Sometimes. Yeah. Lessons learned along the way, and I'm glad that you saw that journey, and maybe it was something that you could pick up for your own life.
Yeah.
Probably, I guess,
Because if anything, that taught me that big moves require big risk, and it doesn't always necessarily mean that you will get big rewards. Yeah. It might, but doesn't always. And if the fallout is usually like more than you would expect. Because we all talk about like the financial consequences and all that, but there's like emotional consequences, relationships and all.
Yeah.
And that is all very hard to quantify.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether. But man, seeing you like just going like, you know what, I'm back here, I cannot just dwell on like why this, why that, why, and just blame people and blame everything.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you did.
For a little while.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah, but at least you didn't like, that wasn't like a point of focus for you for a long time.
Well, I got something to admit though.
Yeah.
I was a little bit was it offended or what? I was back and then
Pissed off.
I don't know. No. It was one day Josh came.
Yeah.
Met Joshua. If you all don't know, Joshua Johan is one of the top VO talents as well. He came up to me, bro. I just have to say thank you, because when you left, I got all the jobs. I said, take it the right way or the wrong way,
Yeah.
But initially I took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I took that as a step to even fight even harder, but not in terms of to bring people down.
Yeah.
But to say that, hey, you got to work this much harder in order to gain your place or your market share a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not here to challenge people, but sometimes people get it the wrong way when I work very hard.
Yeah, exactly.
People think, oh no, he's back, that's it lah, koyak lah,
He's going out of his way to do this lah.
It's going to bring us out. But I said no. To me, I'm just going to be another voice in the industry. I'm just going to work as hard as I can. But at the end of the day, if we look at it, it's up to the clients to decide which voice is suitable for their ads.
Exactly.
Yeah, but initially I had a little bit of that chip on my shoulder, like shit man, people took my jobs lah, Of course you will get that. You will get that. So to any talents who felt that, I'm so sorry. Okay? I'm so sorry. It's me.
Well, when you came back, I'll be honest, like I did worry a bit for myself because like I don't know about Joshua, but for me, deep down I kind of felt like the ultimate pretender to the throne. Because I did get jobs where like people would say, oh yeah, this Steven, like, okay, like, he can do quite a lot of things that Sharizan can do, can sing also, then, like, can do all these, like, weird voices, character work, not very good also. So I was like, oh gosh. I was like, oh man, the king's back.
What king? No king. You want to talk about the king? It's Rodney and Colin. Okay?
No, but Rodney and Colin, like they occupy their own
thrones.
I know they're like the king of the north, that kind of thing.
Game of Thrones, is it?
I was like, oh my god, the dragon is coming back and he's gonna burn my ice castle. No, but then
it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Meeting and if anything, I felt like we got to talk to each other even more and get to know each other even more, and it really gave me a lot of insight. And it really, like, as much as you came back and like, okay, you got to work harder, like, it kind of made me work hard as well.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, Sharizan is back. It's good to have another voice in the scene for sure. But like, you know, it's
the market.
It's competition,
yeah.
It's competition. You know, it's not like we're gonna make it ugly and I'm gonna deny you work or whatever. But it's like, okay, like, I need to pull my weight as well. I need to deliver. I need to make sure
it's all
I have
about
my work. And it's all about, like, upping your own game, and everybody ups their game.
Yeah.
So that, you know, in the end, the entire industry benefits.
That's right. I think this is what I always share with my kids now. Looking back, I'm not a very good teacher, but I can inspire. I'll just tell them, you know, go ahead and do the best that you can, 120% every single time. Whether it's singing, whether it's voiceovers, at the end of the day, it's for your own benefit, but not to bring other people down.
Yeah.
Competition will always be competition. It's got to be healthy.
Yeah. At some point, you cannot waste your time worrying about others.
Yes.
Like, worry about others in a positive way, like caring way, fine, but not worry about, like, who's gonna take your food or who's gonna like you know, compete with you and whatever. You just gotta stay in your lane and do it right. Because if you keep doing it right and do it right by others, things will kind of, you know, follow lah, you know.
Yeah, I always have this mentor. I remember that he told me this. I said, bro, you know, everyone's created to do a specific task in this world, and they're given talents to do different things. Don't compare yourself to other people and try to do what they are doing, and you know you can't do it.
Yeah.
You will end up being miserable. Secondly, you know, you want to drive a Mercedes-Benz or Ferrari, but have you seen the challenges that they go through?
Yeah.
You know, it's nice, but if you compare, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Just do what you're meant to do it well. Even if you're supposed to be a floor sweeper, be the best floor sweeper that you can be, because eventually the money will come.
Yeah.
You know, when you stay true to that form of what you are gifted or ordained to do.
I crashed my car a couple of years ago, and then I have neighbors who were kind enough to like lend me their rides for a few days here and there. So I used to drive like a Nissan Sylphy.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then after that, like the cars I was being like, people borrow me were like, I got like an Audi at one point, and then I got like a Mercedes, like a really nice, I don't know AMG, I don't know what, like, I don't know what, so CLA, I don't know what the models are, but they were really nice cars. And then like, I remember one of them, the tires were like going a bit bald already, so I brought it to the tire shop and asked my friend, hey, do you want me to, since I'm holding up onto your car, do you want me to help you, take the time to help you change the tires lah? You know, then you just pay me back whatever, you know. And then I found out like one tire was like 1,000 over ringgit, and I was like, ooh, this is a nice car. Not that nice. It's like, I don't mind borrowing it.
I mean, I've had my fair share of so-called cars. They're costly.
Yeah.
But you know, I've always had bucket lists. One would be a Ferrari as well. But recently now, as you get older, as you mature a little bit more, I'm driving older cars, which are so much fun. I don't care what people think. You know, they can say, oh, he's driving a cheap car, old car, he must not be making it lah. To me, I don't care. At the end of the day, you don't pay my bills. And I drive what I enjoy driving. That's important.
Exactly. You're not driving your car into the venue when you're emceeing, right?
No.
You're not showing up on stage in a Mercedes. I don't care who you are. You don't. There's no like, you know.
But of course, it helps in the sense where it gives you that sense of little security. I went through that because being in the media, right? People judge you for who you are, what you wear, what car you drive, what clothes you wear. If you don't have your Hermes belt, then
and it's so screwed up because like people forget that that we are in the Malaysian industry, right? we're not like in the industry of like palm oil or manufacturing or semiconductors, where like there's really big money there. There's really big money. There are guys who can show up in singlets and shorts, but they are driving like a Lambo or whatever, and that Lambo to them is pocket change, right?
Pocket change.
But these kind of people. But for entertainers, most entertainers don't even come close to that scale.
God. But those with 3 million followers, 20 million followers.
But those are like one out of.
They make, but they also spend a lot.
Exactly.
I think for us, being family men, it's different. It's also preserving in how we are learning to reinvest our funds.
Yeah.
That's important. I mean, like, you do it in teas and stuff, and you can drink it, you can burn the money.
Yeah, my
literally burning leaves.
Exactly. my thing with my tea, right, is the fact that yes, they're kind of an investment, but I also tell people that look, as much as an investment it is, I really hope I don't ever have to sell it, because if I have to sell my tea, it probably means I desperately need the money lah.
Yeah, but this is what you call a safety net, the final line of defense, like why people buy gold. It's just basically as a form of security, just to have that literal gold bars at home in case money crashes, currency crashes. Gold and this kind of things are barter trade.
Yeah. And nowadays got Bitcoin lah, what Dogcoin lah, everything.
But that's all digital. But imagine that having paper losses, it's painful.
Yeah, it hurts.
But it's virtual money that you're having. Nothing like something physical that you can hold on to.
Yeah.
I mean, people are predicting. A friend of mine is like collecting silver. Actual silver.
Oh, actual silver, not paper silver. Like
not paper silver. It's just as a form of security. Yeah, and I believe that day may come.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Syria and all, where all the currencies crash. How do you survive? You need something to trade.
Yeah.
You need something physical. Yeah. So it's good to have a little bit.
And speaking of good to have a little bit, we're going to take a short break now before the camera craps up, and we're going to be back for round 2.
Hey everybody! If you like this podcast, don't forget to like, follow and subscribe to Stephen Bones Everything on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and Podbean. You can find audio episodes of this podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes and most major platforms. Thank you for your support. Okay, let's get back to our program.
And we are back for round 2.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, round 2. Okay.
Round 2.
Sorry.
It's okay, you can...
No, I'm just going to video us a little bit.
Yeah.
This is a shout out to our friend Teresa Lim from Brisbane, Australia.
Yay.
So let's do this recording here. Okay. Hi Teresa, we're here with Stephen Bones. We're doing a little podcast in his channel here.
Yeah, hi Teresa. We're taking a whole portion of this podcast that will be like broadcasted on my YouTube channel, Facebook page to thousands of people. And this segment is just for you. Just for you and no one else.
Oh my gosh. How romantic is that?
Love it or hate it, it's for you.
Yeah, check out Stephen Bones Everything there. That's his page there, his channel here. Thanks, Teresa. Good catching up. Online, we are due to meet up again, or to meet up physically one day. I don't know when. Let's just wait until everything settles down, huh?
Yeah, don't come down now. It's a very bad time to come down.
She came down and changed you.
Is she still here?
No, she left.
Okay, good.
She's very busy. Okay, catch you soon, Teresa.
We're like inviting people to our country during this time. Sure, come, but you can't go anywhere.
Yes, once you come in, you got to stay for 2 weeks, you know.
But it's okay. This 2 weeks you don't spend money at all.
Yeah. No, you can spend the money. Yeah, you make us all very rich and Grab riders become more money.
Oh man, but okay, we were talking about like saving for a rainy day, right?
Yeah.
And now with this COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people are saying, oh, businesses are suffering, workers are like, don't know, everyone's in like a frenzy. But I think there is a genuine lack of a conversation about people in the arts and the performing field, because like there are those who know how to save for rainy day, and there are those who are not able to save for rainy day, and there are those who literally live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And every gig they get, they're actually very dependent on it.
Yeah.
and now it's not like you work for a company and boss say sorry, we gotta cut your pay in half. You know, this is not that. This is like sorry, everything's cancelled
Yeah.
till further notice. So no, your annual dinners, your whatever festivals around the world. So it's not like, oh, Malaysia shut down, luckily I got another show in Australia. No, it's not that.
It's cancelled everywhere.
You're gone no matter where you are.
You are.
Right? And it really, really hurts. So like even like actors and all that. And man,
Well, not YouTubers like you guys and all, eventually,
Yeah.
if you get your own channel going, I guess, I was just speaking to my kids yesterday. The only ones that are not affected are the ones who have been living in isolation, who are YouTubers. I mean, I look at, we watched this guy called Quickie Baby. Not many people know of him, but he plays World of Tanks. And he's been doing that for 10 odd years or more. He's one of the highest paid YouTubers around, in the millions.
wow.
Yeah, just make videos. It's good, but again, people think, oh, I want to make video. But
Yeah.
you got to know how to do it. I mean, like all of us, we're still exploring, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're talking about people in the arts industry. Yes, many are finding it very difficult. Many are having to resort to looking for part-time jobs. But now with the lockdown, it's even harder.
And even with like couple of years ago, if this happened, you could just sign up to be a Grab driver tomorrow and you can start driving. Now
You need to
can't.
get all your certifications.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of
Yeah.
time, and it's not as it's harder than it would have been before lah.
It is, but even now with this limited movement and everything, even Grab drivers will probably finding it
suffering.
find it hard as well. Yeah, living the paycheck to paycheck. That's how the world is living. I mean, even in Australia, where the government raises the interest rates, the banks raise the interest rates even by 1%. You can find a lot of them suffering because they are also living paycheck to paycheck. Cost of living is very high. I mean, we talk about this. Yes, income tax has increased the submission date by 2 months. Okay, yeah, but we still have to pay tax
Yeah.
with the less revenue. But for me, I've got to pay tax in advance.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no exemption.
Yeah.
It's still the CP 500 paid for 2020 based on 2019. Even though you had a great 2019, 2020, you still have to pay the same amount.
Exactly.
We have to go see income tax to try and delay the payments.
Yeah.
I mean, but saving up for a rainy day is very important to have a little bit of buffer.
Yeah. And like I remember before I went into voiceovers, I had the golden opportunity to talk to a financial advisor because I was working at BFM. This guy called Rajan Devadasan.
Whew.
The Mensa,
Damn kaya, man.
Mensa guy kind of thing, like brilliant dude. And the advice he gave me was that look, if you're hopping from a job like company to company, you want to save like minimum 3 to 6 months
Yes.
of your income. If you're looking at like branching out on your own, then you're probably looking at 6 to 12 months.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You need that.
Yeah. So I remember when I went into VOs, I had about the 3 to 6 month range. Then I came out, got my first spent the first few months just cold calling people and just like trying to get a job.
Well, you sang a song, is it? Hi, I'm Steven and I'm only one call away.
Yeah. I called, like, there were places that turned into kindergartens. There were places that didn't operate anymore. There were like people's houses, that kind of stuff. But managed to get jobs. Slowly stuff started to roll.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I got like the first batch of checks, right? I was like, oh yes, money coming back. Woo! Spend, and then after that, like, ooh, money doesn't come all the time.
Yes. It doesn't come all the time. It's like fame. Fame doesn't last all the time.
Yeah,
And
right.
again, for those of you wanting fame and stuff like that, I want to be famous because I want to make money. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Even like the YouTube stuff, like you were mentioning just now, right? Man, people have no idea. People keep saying, like, I was one of those people, right? Last time you see like, what car wash video can get millions of views. Huh? Wash car, take a video of you washing car also can make money, can become YouTuber.
Crazy.
Crazy. Like that I also can do.
You try it?
My thing was, you go and try. Because I've tried like going into this space where I'm making videos and putting stuff up there. And
People steal your content.
well, that's one thing. Apparently it's quite common. I hope you don't steal this podcast.
You should credit, but just copy that link, so make sure it's Stephen Bones' link into your page.
Yes,
so at
please.
least you get some royalty,
There's nothing royal about me to begin with already, and then like even not getting royalty.
Yeah, he calls himself the fake king of the throne.
But yeah, it's very different because I got into this because I hit that point where like I felt as a person I wasn't growing, or I wasn't growing enough, because the viewer thing treated me well, right? I love it to death, and I've been in it for like I think 10 going 11 years maybe now.
We're still baby,
Right, I know, but it's I've done okay.
Yeah,
I've done
it
okay.
pays the bills.
It pays the bills. It paid for these microphones, so it paid for something. But
The
then-
Rode NT2A.
Yes, powered by
Stephen Bones Everything,
Yeah.
together with Huawei.
Hey, and tenaga nasional. But yeah, I did hit that point where I was wondering like, okay, is this all there is for me? And like, because when I started doing voiceovers, I was single and free, no commitments, and then I managed to like buy a place of my own,
And then you found the girl of your dream.
found a girl. Don't know his dream lah, but one of the dreams lah.
It's called a wet dream.
It, settled down, and like after then had started having kids, and man, the expenses just kept ramping up, and I was like, okay, from a financial aspect, I can either try to cut down, or I gotta figure something out. And in the long term, I was like, okay, I gotta figure something out, because kids, I don't know if you know things about them, but they grow up, and they need to be educated, and they need to be fed, and they need clothes, and they need to go to school, and college is not cheap, and that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, there is like numbers I have to worry about, and I have to figure out how to hit these numbers lah. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out a path to get there, and I tried getting into a few things, but like there's this thing about me where like if I'm not good at something, like it doesn't it won't pan out for me no matter what, right? So I have to find like something that operates and is in line with who I am as a person, and that's how like the comedy stuff
Thing came.
and the videos started coming along, because
Yeah, I noticed you were miserable at one point.
Yeah, I
you were
was
just
very-
trying to find your identity again.
yeah, exactly, and we had like quite a few like very deep conversations.
How deep is your love? Gee,
Yeah.
singers always break the song.
Yeah, I think like Gary Barlow, like the Bee Gees, like claim money please.
My love, it had so many empty spaces. Gary Barlow.
So yeah, I kind of then it dawned on me, and then like, okay, I need to start creating have some form of control and creative control, because like the voiceover stuff, yes, it is creative work and all this kind of stuff, but it's very service orientated. We're not the ones writing the script. We're not the ones coming up with the idea for the ad or the cartoon or whatever. We're
Which is a prostitute.
we're the last mile. We're there for that one shot. The happy ending.
We service you.
We service people. You call us anytime, we show up.
Yeah.
We do the job until you're happy.
But you see, yeah.
Prostitute will be better. Prostitute get cash. We have to.
We gotta wait 90 days, sometimes 1 year.
But you need to go past the first trimester.
Make sure you have your folic acid.
Yes.
Oh, for those of you who don't know what folic acid is, guys, especially if your wife gets pregnant, for the first 3 months, she needs to take folic acid for the baby. Yeah. How do we know this? We all dads.
All dads.
Yeah, dads with dad bods.
Yeah, and because of this quarantine periods, people are saying that there's probably going to be more babies from now.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. The baby boomer.
yeah, stock up on the folic acid, my friends.
Gen Beta.
Yeah, so I decided to get into comedy, and then I was like, okay, I want to get better at comedy. What can I do? So I decided to try this online thing, because I figured there's an audience there, right? And I just have to go for it. I didn't know how to do like video editing and all that, but I was like, okay, I know audio. Maybe I'll just type audio and just mess around. And I was thinking to myself like, okay, best case, someone sees it. Worst case, nobody sees it. Like, I go on my happy way. If I want to do more, I do more. Right? So kept doing it, and like first one, and it did really well, and then I kept doing a few more, and they did well. And I was like, you know what? My friends were telling me this might be a sign from the universe that this is something you got to look into.
Nasi lemak.
Exactly. And okay, there's another thing about that, right? Like most creators and YouTubers, they start making videos and nobody's watching, and then they go for a long while, and then suddenly one day they hit something.
It hit something.
Right? And then people buy in, and then wow, he used to make this kind of video, very nice, I will follow. Mine was really weird. Mine was like, the first one that came out did really well, and then like, there was nothing else on my page because I just started it, right? So people came and they're like, oh, it's like some joke account. It's a fake account or something like that. This fella just put one video just to troll people and then just walk away from this. Yeah. So like,
I think you're also feeling your way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether to proceed on, whether to keep going, or to just leave it hanging, or wait, see the response out.
And then like, then I kept doing more. And I found like, okay, there's something, I don't know if I like it, but you know, there's something about me that works in this space. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep doing it. Told myself do one video a week for the whole year. Did it, and I was like, oh gosh, it felt good. It was tiring but good, because I felt like creatively I was offering so much. And I was like, okay, this, if we go back to like the whole idea of business and finances and the value chain and all that, right? I felt like, okay, this is moving me up higher in the value chain, because I'm no longer just the VO talent. I'm no longer just the guy coming in to provide a service. You know, even on that end, when you do call me in to voice or whatever, it's easier for like people to propose me to clients or whatever, like the studios or producers. Another thing is that when people come to me, they have a better idea of what I am and what I can do, who I am and what I can do.
Yo, the 5 W's.
What are we? What are we?
Why, who, why, when, how. Hey, no, that's the age. Oh no, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, like trying to move up in the value chain, and I feel like that there's something there, and
sure enough, look at that.
Yeah,
look at that.
And
well done.
Thank you. And I'm in this phase where like I'm trying to get into like the corporate event scene and all this kind of stuff. So it's really weird, because like it's not that I compare myself to you, but I always look to you as like oh, like I feel we're very similar in a lot of ways.
I'm bad influencer. Don't follow.
That's why my career like this lah, bro.
That's why lah. See, got skeleton may die already.
Exactly. Ayo, that's why not on lah. No, but yeah, it's seeing you, the level of professionalism you bring to your shows or your gigs, whatever you're doing, you know, like I'm like, okay, that really is the benchmark. You know, seeing you put together your shows at Alexis, you know, you perform with the bands and all that, and like I sing in bars myself. I used to sing in bars myself, so I'm quite well aware of like within, you know, this the live performance music industry, like what the money is like and the gigs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like okay, he doesn't really need to do this gig, but why is he doing it? Like it's not paying the bills.
It's not.
It doesn't. Like these kind of live gigs, people think that wow, he filled up the venue. No, no. You gotta remember the tickets. It's not like 1,000 ringgit a ticket or 500. It's like 50.
Malaysians won't pay for local acts. So, I mean, just there's always a sense of biasness. The Malaysians. But what they don't realize, a lot of the Malaysian musicians. I mean, for me, my mission actually when I do my gigs, it's actually very simple. One is for musicians to cari makan. Secondly is, without great musicians, right, I wouldn't be up there on stage. Exactly. And they make me look good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why I do what I do, mainly for a different purpose.
Yeah.
It's public performances are just an avenue for people to come and watch if they want, if they deem it worthy, come and watch. Secondly is for musicians to actually expose themselves.
Yeah, just apply their trade.
Yeah. And for me, actually, the reason why I like to do this, but I don't do public performances very often, is to crowd study.
Crowd study.
See, I go to venues as well when other people are performing. I will sit in one corner, having my jasmine tea, and not looking at the performer, but hearing what the audiences are doing, what their body language is, how are they reacting, what songs work, what songs don't, and how to approach the matter. So that's the reason why I do public performances, because I love people, I love engaging people, but I need to understand what they want.
Yeah, to get the feeling of the grassroots lah, so to speak. Yeah.
So from there I will pick the repertoire and to see what works. People will say, oh yeah, old songs are, but it's all about people, it's not about me on stage.
Yeah, if it's a like a crowd that you're performing to, if you know for a fact that it's gonna be like 90% 40, 50-year-old people, you don't go and pick the latest Bruno Mars and Ed Sheeran song all the way, beginning to end, you know.
And it's not easy to sing those songs, you know. I mean, you got to be in that generation culture. So I acknowledge my limitations. I acknowledge where my line is, and I try to maximize that line to work within that limitations that I have. And how are you going to exploit that?
Yeah.
To make it a little bit better than it was yesterday. That's all.
Yeah, and again, like that is something I identify very strongly with, because even like for what I do, like with my videos and all that, it all started with that. Like, okay, I just need to do something, right? The limitations are there, but what can I do within these limitations?
that? Yeah.
So a lot of people kept thinking that like from day one I was like using video editing software and like high-end computers. And
I was asking you,
yeah.
What editing software is free? Download on my smartphone. What?
And it's not like I wasn't using like an iPhone or some like Galaxy S2500, don't know what.
He was telling me, download this InShot. What's InShot? Huh? Free?
Free.
I pay a few hundred for.
Yeah, exactly. And then everything was on my phone, and it was I will never forget this. It was an Honor 7, so it's a 2015 flagship phone that I bought for 800 ringgit in 2018.
It's the same phone my son had.
That
Honor 7, the battery lasts forever.
Yeah, battery lasts forever. Then I tried experimenting with a couple of video editing apps. Settled on this one called KineMaster.
Yes.
And pretty much the whole of end of 2018 to 2019, every visual element that of my videos was all done on my phone.
Yeah.
And I would figure out ways to like, okay, how to smoothen the workflow, what do I need? I started visiting, you know, all these like all the phone shops that sell these weird gadgets and cables. I went in and I explored everything.
Yeah. But I think you're a bit of a techie fella as well. I mean,
it's necessity
because of BFM and stuff like that.
Yeah, because from the audio engineering,
audio engineering background, you tend to search for something that will help. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was flabbergasted, and even my friends who work in audio and all that, they were shocked by the amount of like flexibility like the phone had.
Yeah.
When it came to audio and even video editing and all this kind of stuff. And when I put it out to them, I said, look, it's not like video editing came out recently.
Yeah.
Right? It's been around for a long time. People have been editing videos on computers for the longest time. And smartphones, like compared to the PC I had at the time, that smartphone was way more powerful.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a one-stop solution where you can shoot a video, you can record yourself, and everything is inside, and you don't have to worry about like conversion file format compatibility
for you.
Yeah, everything's in there, and it will just get.
It's amazing, right? It's amazing what you can find these days, right?
Amazing, exactly. And I was like finding like microphones that I could connect straight to the phone, get better audio and all this kind of stuff, and
now we end up with big microphones like this. They call it night pangkat already, night pangkat.
You know, once you've gone up there, you tend to look for better equipment, you know.
Yeah. And then like after that, like ew.
Yeah, you know, it is the kind of voices that we're doing, kind of thing, no? So it's so nice.
Yeah, this is gonna be like the rest of like 2 hours that we're just gonna talk like this.
You notice a list.
Man, I love it. I love it when we like get jobs together. Because
I was like, wait. Okay, finish.
Okay, this is how good this is how you differentiate a regular voiceover talent and a professional voiceover talent. Is the ability to pull off the fake laugh. Okay, fake laugh. 1, 2, 3.
Fake enough now.
Fake laugh. Yeah.
But actually, it's quite real.
Yeah.
We know how to get on.
Yeah. We switch on the pain in our souls.
Yeah, man.
When we see script ends in laughter.
Yeah, laughter. That's original.
Exactly.
Yeah. Original fake come original. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love it when we get jobs together because like we get to like it's generally fun recording other people. When you record with certain people, you get to go with, like
Imagine the room filled with Sam, you, myself.
Tiki.
Tiki.
Tiki was fun also.
Yeah, it goes crazy.
Yeah, I did like one commercial film where like we both played elves. And like
Hey everybody, it's Tiki here.
Yeah, and I'm Steven on Road to Elves.
so yeah, that was the whole recording session that we did. And we were in there for an hour.
Yeah.
And the script was just something that happened to be there.
Happened to be there, yes.
I mean, okay, let's just do a couple of reads of this and then we just have fun the rest of the way. Yeah. So
It works, but sometimes depending on the copywriter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you see sometimes copywriters are a little bit unsure what they want to do sometimes. So we just have to lion.
Lions.
And that's the other thing, right? Like learning how to work around people or learning how to deal with people and clientele. That's a lot of things that people forget when they want to turn their passion into careers.
I think one thing I've shared with a few voiceover talents, very simple. If you can do the job according to the client's specifications in the quickest time possible, then you're in.
Yeah.
But if you try to do something which is out of what the copywriter has envisioned and you end up arguing with them, then you have a problem. Because it is, at the end of the day, rule number 1, the client is always right.
Yep.
Rule number 2, the client is always right. Rule number 3, if you forget, refer to rule number 1 and number 2.
Wow, complicated.
Yeah, man.
Very complicated.
Yeah.
Is that in the Constitution?
Yeah.
Federal Constitution.
Kesetiaan kepada raja dan negara, keluhuran perlembagaan, kedaulatan undang-undang, kesopanan dan kesusilaan. See, I remember that was a prefect. Maka kami, rakyat Malaysia, tidak bersetuju kepada kerajaan belakang pintu. Tetapi apa nak buat kan? Kami menghormati perlembagaan negara.
I don't know, they're called PPBM. So, Parti Pintu Belakang Malaysia.
Something like that lah. Jangan nanti I say.
Okay. Alright, but yeah, so man, there's been like so many life lessons I've seen from you. But one thing that I've always noticed was that you, no matter what you're going through, you seem to do your best to not let it affect others, especially those outside your family lah, like the people you work with or whatever. There's been multiple times where like we work together on a job and we have time to kill after. And on a job, like there's that thing where like you turn the room around, everyone's happy, and then after that we come out and we sit down and have a conversation and you get into that zone where like okay, I think you let your guard down, yeah, and then you're like okay, then it's a different conversation, and then I get to see the other side, right?
Very deep, huh?
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh wow, because I keep there was a time when I was like, hey, I want to be like that, like I want to be able to like go in and like turn the room on, and then after that come out and go back to script. But I'm like, that for me would take so much energy and like, and I don't think I have it in me like to do it regularly. And I'm like, over the years, the more I knew, and the more I started to understand myself also, I was like, you know what? There needs to come a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I need to stop looking at others and try to be others, and just look back to myself and ask myself, okay, is this right for you? Is this what you want to be?
Yeah.
And who are you? And why do you want to go down the same path as this other guy? Why do you want to do this exact same thing? Does it match who you are? And does it bother you that that you're not like this person or you're not like that person? And it's at some point you have to come to that point where you just make peace with who you are.
Yep.
And just figure it out. And the last year or so has been a very strong growing period for me, because it's a year where I started questioning myself. Who am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? Why am I doing what I do? And besides comedy, like helping me give me that thing to that introspection kind of thing. You were one of those people as well, because every time I had a conversation with you, I'm like, oh my god, there's the layers you show on the outside, and then there's what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm like, wow, everyone has their ups and downs, lah.
Yeah. There's a very big iceberg at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's nice to see an iceberg at the top. A lot of people say, wow,
got polar bear, got penguin,
got penguin, everything, got thing fly. But do they really know what's at the bottom? Yeah.
So I've come to terms with this thing where like everyone has their cross to bear. You see a side of everybody that they allow you to see, or that you choose to see. What they are going through in the background, the daily struggles and all this kind of stuff. There's no way anybody can know. There's no way. Even your closest relative, your closest loved ones, it's very rare, if not next to impossible, to find someone who can like tune in with you 100% all the time, right?
No, even your life partner as well. They have their ups and downs. It's. I think along the journey, I think you and I have come to this part in our lives where we start not to judge people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just by looking at them or seeing. I mean, people have come across to me even before. I know friends. I'm blessed that I have a lot of friends in Australia because of that whole journey. But one guy came up to me, bro. I didn't mean anyway, but those days I thought you were just very pretentious and just putting it out there. But now I know the real you. So he was initially laying a little judgment on me. Just because I'm happy, I'm this and that, I can go this, do that, and do everything. But it takes a lot.
Yeah.
But there's also the heart. And sometimes everybody's character is different. Whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or a mid-introvert, extrovert. It's a lot of things to do with your character itself. Yeah. I think people are seeing. Actually, I look at myself. I'm quite a loner too. I spend a lot of time at home. I can go out. I guess achieving that balance, we all need that quiet space and quiet time. But at the same time, you also need the other part of it to round everything off.
All right, and with that, we're gonna take another break
before the phone stops recording.
Yeah.
Huawei.
Yeah. I say it as if like, wow, this is a formatted show. That's professionalism in this. No, folks, this is just a potato podcast in a potato farm, shot on a potato.
I asked Steven, what's the content like? What's the direction? Nothing, bro. You just talk on here. Talk up.
Yeah, just talk on.
You can say talk up.
Okay.
You can okay.
Because like okay, before we go to break.
Hey, you better stop the camera first.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Yeah, okay.
Hey there! If you like this podcast, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Stephen Bones Everything Facebook page, YouTube channel, Instagram, and more. You can also find us on Podbean. Don't forget, this podcast is available wherever all good podcasts are. Not saying that this is a good podcast, it's just available where all good podcasts are. If you wish to advertise on this podcast, or if you just want to send money, drop us an email at stephenboneseverything@gmail.com. We'll get the better email next time. But for now, stephenboneseverything@gmail.com.
And we're back for round 3 with my good friend
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
We are back, yeah.
You try to it. Yes. Oh yes.
Oh yeah. And
We
everything
are-
I see trees of green.
Oh yeah.
My name is Groot.
I am Groot.
Okay.
King Batowski!
Alright, so yeah, Sharizan, your
Yeah, we got into some deep conversation before we recorded this. Woohoo! Deep.
okay, so just to recap, your life has been
Colorful.
very colorful, very high ups and some
A lot of high downs.
up and down lah. And the big thing now is like, okay, you came back to Malaysia and you had to restart your voiceover career, and also you've restarted your singing and
My emceeing, my singing, and everything is
and it's very different now because when you first released your album and all that, your singing career started like in the
1997. Actually, I won the AIM award for Best New Male Artist at AIM. The same year with Siti Nurhaliza, she won the Best Female Award.
Which year was that?
97.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
amazing accomplishment. In 97.
Yeah. We had no social media.
But now, we're in like 2020. So
Yeah.
that's like what, 23 years, right?
Yeah, more than that.
23 years. So the best new male artist category, I don't know if it's still accessible to you now. If you join A&M like in the
No, it's
coming
not.
years.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, but you are in this stage where like you're in the process of like recreating and
redefining.
redefining who
Yeah.
Sharizan Borhan is as well, right?
Yeah, who you are as a person. I mean, with all the changes and challenges you've gone through, it has actually redefined your needs, your purpose, and your goals.
Mm.
I think life is all about purpose.
Yeah.
And I think as an entertainer and artist as well, we will go through that moments in our 20s and our 30s. I think for everyone actually, in your 20s, it will be a different kind of goal that you're achieving.
Mhm.
I think in our 30s, I mean, you're still in your 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn it. In 30s, we are pushing harder because, family and everything, it's all about finance.
Yeah.
How you're going to push, but at the same time, how do you remain true to yourself and true to your art? And I'm at the stage where my kids are actually older. What is my purpose after this? What do I do? It's going to be an empty nest, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, bachelor again, right?
Yep.
So,
So ladies,
no. It's okay.
no, guys.
No. You know what, though? Some of us had a tagging fire. Damn it. Yeah, in your 40s, actually, it's very different. It's not just about the money, but at the end, what kind of impact are you going to leave to the next generation?
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to live a more purposeful life, but at the same time, trying to see what more I can give to the industry, what more and how more I can push a little bit harder, because the focus will now, with the children, actually, it's slowly, I'm slowly being relieved. Bit by bit.
Yeah.
I mean, financially, it's still very, very intensive.
Yeah.
But at the same
But
time,
it's like the big final push, right? The college fees and all that.
Oh,
Once you get over that hurdle,
let me tell you, parents, I totally have respect because it's not cheap.
Yeah.
For one kid alone, from the time they're born right up to now, this is before inflation. It's roughly about 1.3 million per kid. So if you're thinking of having kids, right, you got to start saving from young, push hard, and create some kind of fund. I mean, for me, I'm still saving on the go.
Yeah.
I'm still paying on the go. And with
and then 1.3 million doesn't include your own expenses.
No,
It's just purely for the child.
which I got 3.
Multi-millionaire.
No, not yet. But you know
all
what?
in the kids.
It's all worth it.
Yeah.
It's all a joy. I think right now in this stage of my life, my purpose is being there for my children, to make sure that I've imparted enough of an identity, enough of an impression to allow them to survive on their own in future. So for me now with my eldest, now I'm slowly letting go, and I'm seeing all her survivor traits coming out, and I'm happy for that.
No, that's good.
But at the same time, trying to teach them not to get into too much debt when you're young. Yes, some say it's good, but you need to be able to manage that in case, like, for example, 6 months down the road, I think for us as entertainers, it's going to be a tough journey to recover.
Yeah.
But if our overheads are within manageable means, you're able to actually survive and pull through, without having to sell your tea.
So, so you have boys, one boy and 2 daughters.
I've got a son and I've got 2 daughters.
2 daughters.
Yeah.
So do you okay? Because I'm a father of 2 daughters, and I've always been curious. Like, do you raise your son differently than daughters, or all the same? Like, because like people say you should treat them all the same, right? But no matter what, you have to face the reality that when the daughters grow up and go into society, the set of challenges they face, they have a different set of challenges from the boys.
No, definitely.
For certain things.
I always believe every child is unique. We can't use one mold to educate them the same way. I'm looking at my eldest daughter, my son who's 17 now, my eldest is 22, and my youngest is 15. All 3 different characters. And it's not easy, but having to identify their strengths. I think us sometimes being Asian parents and stuff like we just tend to say, you do this, you do this, you do this. But what I came to realize, because of my upbringing and how I had to fight hard to find my own identity, and my mom allowed it. Well, not say allowed it, because there was no choice.
You take it as well.
No, I couldn't afford to study. I couldn't even afford to go to college. Life was that difficult for me. And I came to a point where your mother and I, just said, as long as you're happy, fight hard. We're at the stage where the minimum you need is a degree at least lah. And this is where I'm going to fight hard for them. But at the end of the day, you need to, for them is to identify their strengths, to see where their heart is, to see how they react to certain things and what makes them tick, makes them excited. My eldest is into early education.
Oh, okay.
Right. She has a Bachelor of Science in psychology.
It's amazing.
But now she's moving into early education. One is now reality is set in. It's all about survivability. How do I make it on my own?
Yeah.
With just your psychology degree, everybody's taking it. So where do you specialize yourself? And she had to see where her strengths were, right? And what will help her get whatever that she wants to achieve. My son, rock hard abs. He looks like Jason Momoa.
Wow.
He is a rock climber. Okay. Initially he had many goals, but right now he's focused on this. And I see where he is. He is a very calm, collected. He's a very good teacher, a lot of patience, but very passionate. So I'm going to see where he's going to go. I mean, he's starting college next week, but no, I don't know whether he can even start college. Right? But I'm giving him time because he graduated 1 year earlier. But I can see where he would be going. He's got an engineer mindset. He needs to know A to Z proper, no skipping steps. That's an engineer.
And that is rock climber as well.
Rock
because you
climber.
kind of,
Problem solver.
yeah, problem solver, right?
Yeah. But that being that, I'm also having to educate him how to be able to pivot if you don't have jigsaw puzzle J in place.
Yeah.
Can you jump that step and then look back and fix it along the way? That is something that I need him to overcome. So I'm trying to encourage that as well. Like, you get too fixated on certain things, you
You get your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get in your own way and you can't be flexible. So I'm teaching him right now to be flexible. Youngest wants to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And I mean, you taught her during that
She was in the voiceover workshop.
The voiceover workshop, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at it. She's creating content.
Great.
Yeah. If you look at the law of animation on IG, that's her. She likes.
What's the channel then?
She doesn't have a channel, right? But she's got own IG right now. Allowed her. The law of animation.
The law of animation.
Yeah. So she comes up with puns and stuff like that. I say, well, this is great, but she lacks a little bit of self belief and confidence. So this is where I'm trying to impart to her. Believe it. And I think as a father, very important, right? As a father, our roles are different. Moms are there to nurture, but fathers are there to impart an identity to your children.
Yeah. Remember, it's not the father is not just there to pay the bill.
Yeah. Identity is what a child needs, and I believe that very, very much because I grew up without a father. My father died when I was 6, and I didn't have father figures, and I had to look to many people to try and figure that identity thing that I had, and how I was going to be a leader. And I tell my kids I'm not a very good leader. I'm trying to be, and I apologize for my shortfalls, but I'll try my best.
Yeah.
So along the way, so as dads, you can't just walk away. It's that role to impart to your children that identity and that confidence. They look up to their fathers a lot as well. Yeah, so just setting a good example. You got a lot on your plate, man. Okay, girls, different.
Yeah.
Yes, girls are a little bit more sensitive. You got to see their needs because you can't not, for example, you can't just scold a girl, your daughter, don't do this, blah, 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 blah. They remember. They remember and it affects them as a person.
Yeah.
Like boys, you can bash them left, right, center, next thing. That's what you said.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's very different.
The saying is hell have no fury like a woman scorn. There's nothing There's nothing for men. There's no statement like that for men because women.
Yeah, and I noticed they will remember it. They will have that little chip on your shoulder, and if you if you come across that chip, you gotta identify it with them and be open, and talk to them about it and apologize if you need, so that they are able to move on. and not have that the little thing that they will carry, right, really will affect them.
Yeah.
And I've seen it, and I apologize to my daughters and my sons as well. Now, if I'm a little bit outline, or if I'm a bit down, or I just raise my voice a little bit, and I see their reactions, it's being sensitive to how they react and apologize when there's a need. So I'm very open with my kids. They are my accountability partners. At the same time, they can see the vulnerable side of me. Always people say dad's got to be tough. No. You must allow your children to see your vulnerability as well. So that
you can be tough to the rest of the world.
Yeah. But at
but
home, I show them the downer side of me. I can cry in front of them.
Yeah.
Just to show that, even dads are human beings. We are not necessarily so-called godly all the time.
Yeah.
We're not right all the time.
Yeah.
Well, no, we falter too. Yeah, and it's good for them to see that. Yeah, and I think from there, they will probably respect us a little bit more in that sense. Yeah.
So where did your identity as a father figure come from?
Few people. One was back then Dr. Mahathir was one, a little bit, and seeing how he was shaping things. My ex-wife's father, the way he gives wholeheartedly, and I say, Pa, thank you until today. I still consider you as my papa. And we still have dinners. It's still good. And a lot of it was a lot of the journey walking with God. At the same time, that one is very good. Along the way, just speaking to one or two people, and how they are mentors in a way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, looking at life in general, how I should play this role.
Yeah, because as a father, I have a tough time assimilating into the role, because I think before my kids were born, when my wife was pregnant, I would bring my wife to all these workshops this that attend all these child courses kids and all that stuff, and every time quite a lot of the time I would be one of the few guys in the room full of women, and it's after a while it started to strike me that you go out to these courses for how to be a mom, how should mummies manage their kids and all that.
None to be dads.
None for dads.
Yeah,
none for dads. And I do believe that being fathers, we have a very, very crucial role in shaping the mindsets of our kids and making sure they grow up well and all that. So it would be kind of nice if we got a bit of education and support along the way. I don't know if maybe there are people out there actively doing it, but
maybe but men naturally they're very macho
Yeah, exactly.
They don't like to talk about this and stuff like, it's a woman's job. No, it's not a woman's job. It really isn't a woman's job. Frankly, being a mother is honestly my hats off to mums. The amount of sacrifice. But along the way we tend to take things for granted as well, and that's where things break down. And so for me now, as they are growing up, I'm feeling that I'm out of time with my kids. So if you can treasure the time when they're young, enjoy that moments, because seriously, once you've missed that point, right? And I've been lucky to be there all the time. Until today, I still send them to school.
Which is also why I'm very conflicted when I get into extremely busy spells, because I do have that thing where you want to put every ounce of blood, sweat and tears into your work so that you can succeed, so that you can provide, right? But at the same time, if you are a parent, you have to measure that cost, because if you go all out 120% in your career,
it's a price to pay.
The price you pay is not
it's very dear.
Kids.
It's very dear,
and that's a price, and that is something that you cannot get back.
That's why I gave up a lot of dreams, especially the last couple of years. I just had to focus on one, what gave me that passion to drive through. Second, what allowed me that flexibility in time that I could spend with my kids. And once that moment is over, it's over. Seriously. Even my number one, I've already technically have let her go, but I'm playing this role as an advisor right now. Whenever you need me, I'm there. But no call is good.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard
it's hard.
to accept that fact that they're growing up, forming their own lives.
Yeah. No news is good news is very hard when you're
Yeah. And she's away. She's in Australia right now.
Yeah.
So like, wow. And two more under my wing.
Yeah.
But I'm at this stage where I'm preparing them to take flight.
Yeah.
No choice. No choice.
Yeah, you can't like cuddle them,
Yeah.
all the way to the end. It's not good.
Yeah, but also I think for young parents, the first 7 years of the child's life is very important. That's where they form their behaviors.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. First 7 years, and then
You want to be around. You want to
be around.
You want to be around for that.
They look up. Even like my son until today. Dad, you want to go climb with me? It's different when I have my dad there.
Yeah. Right now, my kids just climb on me.
Oh, good. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I miss that stage now. Like my daughter's dad. Dad. Can you knock my room before you come in? Okay, sorry, darling.
Yeah.
It's at a very different stage.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah. Terrible twos, puberty at 12, 13.
Yeah. So okay, like you have your side as the father. That's evolving and changing as the years go by. What about your side as the performer? Like, are you looking to perform to the day you die, kind of thing? Or
Yes, I'm looking to not retire because I think once you find
So that's on the business card. Sharizan Borhan will never retire.
Never retire.
So even if your corporate dinner is like 20, 30 years from now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I may not have teeth left, but I got a little bit more
That's exactly-
that I can offer to you.
So you can still book him right now.
To all you 90-year-olds out there, please raise your hands.
everybody go,
Here's the song, My Way.
My way.
no, I guess we can't retire. I mean, I've seen friends who have retired. Oh, I'm retired right now.
Yeah.
Bro, after 3 weeks, nothing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So to me,
But how do you keep like growing yourself as a performer and artist? Because there is that, right? Like when you start to stagnate and you're not growing as an artist and a performer, like reality sets in very hard.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, and there are so many who get comfortable doing what they do and they don't improve and they don't change with the times. And in the end, they suffer for it, and then they
Yeah.
wonder, oh, what happened to all my gigs? How come people don't call me
Yeah,
anymore?
yeah.
It's because, like,
It does weigh on me. Sometimes I do tend to be a little bit relaxed and comfortable. But it's always at the back of my head. I've known to always push myself, but I've also have spells where I get into that nice complacent mood,
Yeah.
which we all do.
that's nice for a while.
Yeah. But I think having to step out of the comfort zone is always called for every single time. I mean, last couple of years, I always share my kids recently. Life is like a rubber band. If you need to go through that stretches in life to keep flexibility, to be able to be pliable and moldable, because rubber bands, when you leave it stagnant, and suddenly you have that pull, what happens? It breaks.
It breaks.
Alright. So it's this last few years, in fact 2020 now, the last 3 months, has always been a process of stretching.
Yeah.
And now I'm waking up to different moments that I need to look forward to. So I was with a chat with friends yesterday in the industry. I said, bro, we want to see you boom again. Please lah. We're there for you.
Because you clearly have the capability. You clearly have the talent. You clearly have the drive, the mindset. You have all the right ingredients.
I guess being beaten many times will naturally suck the life out of you at certain points, and you just are focused on doing the things that work.
Yeah.
I've known to be risk adverse, but after getting hit many times, and age is catching up, and secondly, finance is very intensive. You got to be very careful on the things that you do. But when you have friends stepping up in front of you, stepping forward, and offering you stuff like that, bro, we are there for you when you need it. Let's get something going. Let's help each other out. That's okay. Let's plan. It's time. It's 2020. It's a new decade. And what do I want to see myself in 2030? Maybe something different. Or maybe a little bit of growth, like, to perform in bigger shows. That's always the dream. I've always been supporting acts, even when an artist came down, I was an MC. Yeah, I got to perform in Istana Budaya. It was always the dream. The dream came true. And I'm thankful for that. But I think, how can I make things a little bit different, where I am able to use that experience and also to bring other people in as well, to grow them. I think that's the next stage, growing others. You have a shelf life, but it can't be all about you. It's got to be about other people as well.
It can't be about you, got to be about it's got to be about other people as well.
Yeah.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my good friend.
We spent a lot of time chatting.
No, it's like, if there's any influencers, this would be it, right?
I don't know.
This is not a social media influencer. This person actually influences people's lives, alright? And definitely for the better. Sharizan, thank you so much.
Alright, bruh.
See you again soon. Thank you so much.
Don't forget, Stephen Bones, everything.
And your daughter's IG?
The law of animation.
Yes. And look out for Sharizan. Remember, if you got corporate gigs or whatever 30 years down the line, book him first.
My way.
Alright, see you next time.
Peace out.